1,700 comments on one post inside someone else's Facebook group. And I wasn't even trying to sell anything. Every single one of those comments was a lead. It was a real person who raised their hand and said, yes, I'm interested and I want to know more. And then I had under 2,000 followers. I wasn't posting ads and I didn't even pay for promo in that group yet. So today I'm going to break down exactly how that happened and how you can do the same thing with whatever you're selling right now. Now, I have been using Facebook group marketing for years. I have signed clients, landed partnerships, speaking engagements, growing my coaching business. So this isn't something I figured out last week. But last year in April of 2025, something shifted. I launched my Twinfluence course, and over the next 7 months, I crossed six figures with that one course, and Facebook groups were a major reason why. Now, I still don't have a huge audience. Fact check me. Check me out on every platform and you'll see. But I still make an average of $1,200 a day with my AI twin. And the reason why is because I went where the audience was. And that is exactly what today is about. You going where your people are. So if you have an offer right now, maybe you have a course, a service, a digital product, anything, but you don't have an audience yet, this strategy is for you. And if you've been posting on social media, maybe you're getting some views, you're getting some likes, but the sales aren't consistent and it feels like you're just hoping, this video is for you. Because the issue isn't your content. Well, for some, for most, for some. The issue isn't your content, it's your location. You're fishing in an empty pond. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand why Facebook groups beat social media for leads. We're going to talk about how to find the right ones, which type of posts actually generate buyers, not just comments, and what mindset shift is needed that will separate you from people who go viral and people who get ignored. So this isn't about spamming groups. It's about having an actual strategy. This isn't about cold DMing. This isn't about even paying for promo every week. It's strategic and it works quickly. So let's break down exactly what we're covering. Number one, we're going to cover the real difference between social media marketing and Facebook group marketing, because once you get this, you cannot unlearn it. Okay. Number two, we're going to talk about how to find groups that are actually worth your time, because not every group is a gold mine. And I'm going to show you the one signal I look for. And if I see that signal, I am gone. That is not the group for me. And number three, we're going to talk about the three types of posts that work in any group. Each one attracts a different type of buyer. And I'm going to break down exactly how they work. Okay. So let's get into it. Now, when you post on social media, right, you are putting content out and hoping that the right person sees it. This is the reason why I say social media equals passive marketing, because you can have the great messaging, an awesome offer, great hooks, but at the end of the day, you're at the mercy of the algorithm. Now with Facebook groups, it's a little different, right? Because with Facebook communities, you are closing that gap with hoping, because you're not waiting for the algorithm to deliver your content to someone who might be interested. You're going directly into a room full of people who already showed up because they care about that specific topic. So for example, let's say you're a health coach, right? And you specialize in maybe keto, right? On social media, you're posting and you're hoping that someone who's interested in keto would find you. But in a Facebook group specifically for keto, those people are already there. They raised their hand. They said, yes, this is the topic I'm interested in and I want more. So you have a faster path to your ideal client. This is the reason why I love this strategy, because, and here's the thing, if you decide to listen to this video and you're going to get started with Facebook group marketing right away, which I advise that you do, it does not replace social media. Social media and community marketing should be happening at the same time. So one is building your brand over time and the other is getting you those leads right now, because you need both. And this one is so near and dear to me because of how things happened with me when I first started in the industry. So I started in online marketing over 15 years ago. And when I started, things, we didn't have AI, we didn't have all what we have now, right? And I was just marketing. It took me 6 years before I hit my first six figures the first time around, because I was just pumping the pavement, beating the pavement, putting out my social media, making sure that I'm staying consistent, right? Not realizing that, wait a minute, there was a way that I can get in front of more people. And I remember at one point for like a year straight, every time I did a live stream, it was the same 12 people showing up. And I'm like, I need more people, right? And so I wish that I knew then what I know now, because the reality is you don't have to wait. Yes, social media may take a little time for you to understand how to do social media marketing, for you to understand the platforms. It may take a little time for you to grow, but because that takes time doesn't mean that you have to take time to start getting paid. And that is what this strategy is all about. Now, let's talk about groups that grow you versus groups you grow in, okay? Because there are groups that grow you, and then there are groups that you grow in. Groups that grow you That's where you're learning. That's where you're a student. That's where you're picking up tips and prompts and trainings, growing your skills, building your business, losing the weight, whatever it is, you're there to absorb the content, to learn, to grow. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that's not where you're going to get your leads. And that's one of the mistakes that a lot of people make. And they're like, oh, I'm in groups, but I'm not getting tips. Are you in the right groups? Are you in groups that grow you, or are you in groups that you grow in? Because groups you grow in is where your ideal buyer is already hanging out. If you show up there as the person with the answer, the expert, you don't have to be an expert, but at least you have the answer to the problem, the questions that they have. You're the one who can help. That's a completely different energy. So, a quick shortcut for finding out if a group is active before you invest your time in it is check out if the host of the group post are getting any engagement. If the person who runs the group post is getting crickets, that's a dead group. Because sometimes, with other people posting in a community, if you're not consistent enough, sometimes you will find that not enough people are seeing your post. But at least the leader should be getting some leads on their posts, some comments, and people should be seeing their posts, right? But if even their basic posts are getting no type of comments and no type of reaction, that means that group is dead. But if it is, that means people are watching. People are watching, they're lurking, they're engaged, and there's room for you to grow in there, okay? So before you post a single thing, I want you to spend an hour or maybe less, find 3 or 4 groups you're going to focus on posting in, and that's going to be your rotation. That's where you're going to show up. Not 20 groups, not one, but 3 or 4 consistently, okay? Now let's talk about the part that most people don't want to hear, but it's the part that you need to hear. And that's the mindset that you need to have when you're inside of Facebook groups, because most people in Facebook groups are lurking. They're watching, they're pulling resources, they're taking notes, but they're not showing up as leaders. And the ones who are showing up, a lot of them are doing it wrong because they're only thinking of themselves. And that is something that I do really well. So pay attention, because a group is a very we-centric, W-E, okay? It is a very we-centric place. So you have to think like we, not me. The moment you walk into a group trying to sell, people feel it. It's a different energy. Groups are community spaces. People are there to connect. They're there to learn. They're there to share. And the second you come in thinking about what you could get out of it, you've already lost. I remember there was a student and I saw it happen. She posted in a group and people started asking her questions. How do you do this? She was getting engagement. She was getting interest, all of that. And she's like, oh, I'll inbox you. And that's where she left money on the table, because thousands of people were in that group and they were watching that thread. But when you say I'll inbox you, you're taking the conversation to a room where nobody else could see. It seems salesy already, right? But a leader would have answered that question right there in public with value, with warmth, with presence, and let that group watch them. That is what I need. I need you to go from being a lurker to a leader. That is when you start getting results in Facebook groups. When you are a lurker, you are consuming. But when you are a leader, you see every single post differently. You see the opportunity. A leader isn't the most followed person in the group. A leader is a person who shows up consistently, adds value publicly, and lets their responses build trust over time. That's what makes people click on your profile, and that's what makes people say, what do you do? Okay? And that's what it's all about, right? When you think of Facebook groups, that's what it's about. When think about it, when you're in a group, if you ask a question or if you see something that sparks your interest, the first thing you're doing is you're clicking that person's profile and you're going to check them out. That's how people come to you. 24/7 people are coming to you, but not if you're not showing up like the leader you are. Okay? So let's talk about the 3 post types that's going to work. All right. And now that you know the difference between active and passive marketing, right? You know how to find groups that's worth your time. You've shifted from being a lurker to a leader. Now we talk about what you're going to actually post, because there are only really 3 types of posts that consistently generates leads inside of Facebook groups. And each one of those posts do something different. Okay. So number 1 is the problem post. You name a specific problem that your ideal client is experiencing, but you got to make sure that you name that problem in their exact language. All right. Not pitching your offer, anything. You're just naming the problem. Just the problem described so clearly that people comment and they're like, oh, that's me. Those comments are now your warm leads. The second type of post are value posts, right? And this is where you give a quick tip, a quick win, a shortcut, something genuinely useful. You teach something and you walk away. People engage, they want more. Guess what? Those are your prospects. Those are your potential buyers. All right. Third type of post. This is your proof post. So this is where you show a result, a win, a transformation, real numbers, real screenshots. Okay. People who comment, these are your hottest leads. All right. Now, let me tell you about the first post that I did that went viral in a Facebook group. It was actually the first type. So it was the problem post, but I didn't even know it was because honestly, it wasn't strategic at all. I was just asking people for their honest opinion on something that I made. So it actually really was a proof post if I think about it, because yeah, it will fall under a proof post. I was playing around with AI. My daughter was like, Mom, you should try this narration video with your AI twin. Up until then, I was marketing with my AI twin for about 4 months, but I was only doing like the basic B-roll. I didn't get into talking heads or anything like that yet. So she said, try this narration video. And I tried my hand at it and I thought it was so great. So I go in this group and I drop the video and I'm like, hey guys, I just tried my hand at narration. Please tell me honestly, what do you think? I wasn't trying to sell nothing. 1,700 leads on that post. Okay. So much so that I ended up paying for promo in there and literally kept going viral every single post. Because when I posted it, people were like, oh, how did you do this? I want to do this. People started commenting twin because the end of the video said comment twin, even though that's not what I was doing. I was just showing my narration video. So I hope you see what I mean when I say groups is easy. You just have to change your mindset and how you approach groups. Okay. So here's what we covered today. We talked about the difference between passive social media marketing and active Facebook group marketing. We talked about how to find the right groups. We talked about the 3 post types that turn a community into a lead machine, right? Now, here's the thing. Knowing the framework is one thing. Executing it and knowing exactly what to write, what to say when you get the viral post and 100 comments coming in, how to handle this with only 30 minutes a day for my busy people, how to turn all of what I just shared into actual sales. That's a different conversation. So I put together a free resource for you. It's called the OPP Starter Kit. It's a cheat sheet version of everything I just taught you. Plus, it has a quick checklist to help you find and audit your first Facebook group. In the description, you can go ahead and grab that. But if you want the full system, not just the framework, but the exact scripts, the templates, my step-by-step process, and a community of people who's actively doing what I teach every single week, that's inside of AI Income Society. AIS is my membership community. It's $10 a month. It's where I teach twinfluencer marketing, which is basically how to create and monetize and scale with an AI twin or influencer so you can build your faceless content business. The OPP strategy is one of the core things we implement inside of there. When you get in, you'll see the OPP course. It's creation first, right? But we're in there and we're working, not watching. So if this is something that you want, go ahead, check the description. Thank you so much for watching my video. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.